Hey guys, Victor here, and today I will clarify a couple of questions that I have been asked a lot this week, at least 5 times, which is how do I test my core strength? How do I know my core is strong? We need to understand the core is not only the abdominals, it involves all the way from glutes up to the chest and shoulders if you want. But the core is such an important component of so many other main compound lifts, such as deadlift, squats, shoulder press, everything involves core. So people are asking me how do they know the core is strong, then and also ask me how to test. Practitioners have this question in mind as well. So to answer this, I always separate between endurance and strength itself. So endurance is obviously how far the muscle can perform, and whereas strength is how much power it can develop. So normally for a core endurance, we suggest here the plank test. Now it's essentially how far someone can plank for. It's hard to get some norms for this because the literature shows different results for different demographics, but for you to have an idea, if you are on your 20s, there is this study that we refer below, which says that like if you are on your 20s, so basically if you can plank for about 2 minutes, which is anywhere between 110 seconds and 122 seconds, you are in the 50th percentile. If you are a male, if you are a female, this number would go along the lines of 72 seconds, which is essentially just over a minute, and that's your average. Okay, I've seen other resources where average would be somewhere along the 2.5 minutes to 3 minutes. But the main thing is when you test, it's good to have norms, but sometimes you just test to have a baseline comparison to a future test to see if the person has improved or not. So that's the main point of a testing in the end of the day. Also, when you talk about core strength, what I suggest is the 7-stage abdominal test, which requires the practitioner to do 1 repetition of each version of the sit-up. So start all the way from a simple sit-up, and you just have to have your wrist touching the knees without lifting your feet from the ground, and then from there it goes all the way up to elbows, and then hands crossing, hands on the belly, and then we can add weight as well by having 2 kilograms right behind the head, and also 5 as well. And there is no norms, but the classification can be sort of like 0 is very poor all the way to elite, which would be like the stage 7 or the stage 8, because if you cannot complete stage 1, that means you are level 0. So in this scale, we could understand where the core strength or the abdominal strength is at. So these 2 components are important. You have the endurance component with the plank, and also the 7-stage abdominal test that will be testing the abdominal strength. Putting those 2 together obviously gives you some indications of how strong your core is in terms of how is the foundation. But the main thing is not even worry about norms as much. So we don't have norms as accurate as, for example, with the grip strength, that we have a very good association between grip and mortality and these kind of things. With the core strength, it's more like a baseline that you can have, and then from there you retest in the future and see if you're actually improving or not. So this is it for core strength today, and if there is any questions about it, just put it below. I'm always happy to answer it. Thanks guys.